This is my 2016 Aston Martin Vanquish with a naturally aspirated V12. I've had this car a little over 6 months, put about 1,000 miles on it, and it's been an amazing car. It's been super fun. It turns heads everywhere it goes. The sound is incredible on this car. I mean, I've never heard anything like it. That naturally aspirated V12 is just something to hear in person for sure. Two types of sound in this car which I absolutely love, and one is going to be the Bang & Olufsen sound system. It has the pop-up speakers in the front, amazing mids, highs, and bass. My favorite sound coming from this car has to be the exhaust. That sound of a naturally aspirated V12 is one of the best things you can ever hear. I mean, it's music to my ears every time I hear it. It's so hard for me not to like slow down on the highway, get in the slow lane, and then just pass somebody going, you know, 60, 70, 80. That noise from 65 to 85, hearing that exhaust note is just absolutely amazing. So the car has a 6.0 liter V12, has 568 horsepower, and it has a 0 to 60 time in 4.4 seconds. So it's not the fastest car in the world, and I think, you know, from 0 to 60, but it's still so much fun. Like my daily, which is the Lamborghini Urus, has a faster 0 to 60 time frame than that. But this car is actually 2-wheel drive, the Urus is 4-wheel drive, so it's a different experience, and it's so light being all carbon fiber. So every body component on this car is carbon fiber. It's just painted over and you know, in this gloss black. So if you actually look underneath the hood, look in the trunk, you'll actually see the exposed carbon fiber in it, which is really neat. And if you actually look at the paint in certain ways, you'll be able to actually see the pixelation of the carbon fiber behind it. Makes for a great effect, but not a lot of people know that these cars are fully carbon fiber, and so people ask me questions about it. I'm like, check out the paint, and I can actually show them that little like pixelation look in there, which is really neat. Paid $160,000 US for it. In 2021, the car market was crazy, it was insane. It's still been kind of crazy, but it seems like things are kind of letting off a little bit. I've put around 1,000 miles on it, 6 months of ownership, and the goal is to actually sell it again for the 160 that I have in it. So it's an amazing opportunity to own a car this beautiful. This car has around a $315,000 MSRP, original sticker in 2016. I try to stick with super clean cars, no negative Carfax, no auction cars, no wrecks, no title issues. And that can ensure when you actually buy the car, you buy it right, and then that way you can actually sell it right, because nobody wants to buy cars with those issues, especially if it takes a few $1,000s off of the price of a car versus I have an amazing spec, amazing, beautiful car chilling in my garage that I'm going to sell for a little bit more, that's going to be worth more to the next person. Now, with the car market being as crazy as what it's been recently, cars have actually skyrocketed and shot up. You have a lot of things to do with that. You have hyperinflation, you have luxury goods costs going up. So it's an amazing opportunity that I'm able to take this car, $315,000 car, drive it for as long as I really want to, you know, within reason. Most people that have these cars, and I myself, I have a collection of cars, so it's not like this is my daily driver. This is a nice Friday car, weekend car, go to dinner. You know, I'm not parking this thing in the Walmart parking lot trying to get door dings or anything else like that. But I can actually take this car, put a few thousand miles on it, I get bored of it in 6 to 8 months, and I turn on and sell it for what I have in it. So it's an amazing way for me to actually not have a consumer mindset of owning a car, but yet an investor's mindset of looking at a car with 0 depreciation. So this car I'm going to be currently listing for $160,000. I'm actually going to end up listing it for a little bit higher, and then hopefully I can get some, you know, bites around there, but if not, I'll take 160. And I'm watching them on the market. I'm on eBay, I'm on Auto Trader, I'm on cars.com, and I'm seeing what this car is actually doing and how it's performing on those platforms, and I could probably get a little bit more for it than that. but I have some other stuff in mind, and I'm willing to take a break-even point on this car. So this car really cost me nothing other than the fuel in it. When I bought the car, the tires were great, the oil changes and maintenance had just been done, so me putting almost 1,000 miles or so on it, it's really not time for any sort of routine maintenance on this car yet. So really the cost of ownership for me in this car has been my fuel that's gone into it, really, and my insurance. Those are the two things that this is costing me. I'm not having to do anything before getting rid of selling this car and getting rid of it. My methodology I use with exotic car hacks and car hacking in general is to make sure that the car passes a rigorous inspection. And so I get a PPI done on these cars and it tells me anything that's wrong. And Aston Martin is notorious for a dash pilling issue. So when I got this car, I made sure that the dash pilling issue was resolved and fixed before taking delivery of it. The car came a little bit swirly in the paint. Looks like somebody might have gone through a self-service car wash where they have the dirty bristles in there, and you can get these micro scratches and micro swirls, and the paint just doesn't look new. A lot of people don't understand why their paint looks dingy on their car when their car's only a year old, and it's usually because they're taking it through these car washes that nobody cares about. And then, you know, you see a car that's the same year old and you're like, oh my God, why is my paint so much different? And this car was basically that way. And so the same thing with the Bentley that I had, the same thing with this one. Black paint's gonna show every, you know, imperfection that there is. And so I took this car to my guys over at Carnosaur and had them do a full paint correction and ceramic coat on the car. And I also added ceramic tint all the way around. I got started in this about a year ago, and my first exotic car was actually a Bentley Continental GT. It was a 2013 GT Speed, which is actually a W12 engine in that car. Beautiful car, it's black, peanut butter interior, absolutely beautiful car. I owned that car for right at 6 months, and I sold it, made about $10,000 on that car, and then this was my second exotic car purchase. In that time frame, as a weekend car, I'd actually decided that I wanted to get a exotic for my daily. So I got rid of an F-250 Super Duty Platinum, beautiful diesel truck, and turned that into a Lamborghini Urus, and that's actually been my daily driver for the last year almost. So that car was my second exotic. So this is kind of my third, but it's really my second weekend car. You know, I paid around $105 for the Bentley, and I ended up selling it for right around $120, and then minus fees and everything, I think I netted around $115 for the car in total. So almost about 10 grand that was made on that car. This one I'm planning on actually just breaking even on it. That's kind of the goal anyway. And but again, I got to own an exotic for minimal cost to no cost at all, and kind of wipe that consumer behavior away. So not only am I not throwing my money away on a car that's going to depreciate, I'm able to now get the exposure and the fun and the lifestyle of owning an Aston Martin Vanquish, which, you know, 2 years ago I would have never thought that was possible. And now I get to own it for free, and then sometimes even in some cases make money. So part of the car hack methodology is I want to ensure the maximum value for these cars that I can get. And one strategy that I use is actually when I take access or when I take ownership of these cars, I immediately get pictures taken of them from day one. And that way I can use those pictures, one, for postings on social media and things like that to get exposure to the car, but as well as I can go ahead and start my listing process then. I'm not married to this car, I'm not emotionally attached to this car for any reason. So for me, I get the pictures taken immediately right away, and I get them listed on sites like cars.com, Auto Trader, eBay, and some of the major car sale sites. and I get them posted on there. I might have a higher price in the beginning, just because if I want to sell it, I still want to own the car. There's going to be a cost for me wanting to get rid of that car. So there's a cost of the transaction there, and if I sell the car, that cost of transaction is going to cost something, versus as the car and the ownership, the length of ownership starts to get longer for me, the more I'm willing to negotiate on the car and get rid of it, because I probably have my eye on something else. I have this car listed on cars.com, Auto Trader, eBay, and a few other top sites, as well as some Facebook groups and things like that, some Aston Martin groups, and some different car clubs online. I take this car to different Cars and Coffee events, and I talk and network to other people there as well, let them know, hey, everything's for sale, I'm not attached to it, make me an offer. Pretty much when I buy these cars, you know, I try to maximize the value that I have in it. If I can make money, great, but I at least want to get out of this car for zero cost of ownership to me. So I've got the Lamborghini Urus listed. I've got a few offers on that. I think it's about to be gone. I've been eyeing a McLaren for a little bit, and I think it's the opportunity maybe to get rid of the Urus and move into that. This car, on the other hand, I've got something really interesting in store. So I think everybody's gonna be super surprised to find out what I'm doing with this car, and an offer that I have on a trade for something that's actually not even a car. It doesn't even have a motor in it, and something I've never traded for in my life. So this is gonna be a first for me. So stay tuned to find out exactly what I have in store for this beautiful car. I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised to see what I've done and kind of the deal that I have in the works right now. So I think this will be really cool for sure. I've never seen it done before, and I'm kind of excited to document it and show everybody what I'm doing here. Hey man, do you know what time it is? I think it's getting late.